You have to kind of hold it. Got it? Okay. So now we've changed directions with a nice turn on the forehand. And we've done the other direction. Now we're going back to our first direction. That outside string is just a hair bit tighter than the inside string. And the way you can tell if it's the right length, drop her head. Can she put her head all the way down? Not eating grass necessarily, but she can go at least like that. And this is teaching her to accept bit pressure, and when you feel bit pressure, either stretch or come back toward your chest. So she can put her head up here as much as she wants. It's her choice if she wants to be up here or down here, but grazing animals prefer to be down there, so it's a natural thing for them to do. I'll be back. So we're practicing our ground tying with me walking away to get my stick. Good girl. And we're practicing don't turn and face me. Every day. Good girl. Good girl. So I have to kind of go at this angle because if I go up front, she keeps turning to face me. Good girl. Phase one, phase two. In front of me be better? Okay. No, just film it in front of me. And I'll just walk past you once. And then you stay ahead of me. But don't walk, just pivot. I'm going to make the same side circle around you. You want to film me? Please don't film me. So you can see by her neck, you've got the arch on the top and the looseness underneath the neck. That's what we're looking for, a swan-like neck with a pretty arch and a loose underside, softy underside. And again, we don't care if she's moving her mouth like that. You know, she's starting to close it a little bit, but moving jaw, she's not trying to put her tongue over it. If she's putting her tongue over it, that would be different. If she was putting her tongue over it, I would not bit her up. She wouldn't be ready to bit up. They have to know how to hold the bit in their mouth and not try and flip their tongue before you do this. And generally, this is something you can't do until the horse has been carrying a bit in their mouth with no contact until they're quiet. And I've had horses take 1 day, and I've had horses take 3 months to do that. Depends on the individual. All I want her to do, phase one, phase two, all I want her to do is walk, because this is how you build the muscles. Because generally, a horse will, as soon as you put them into a trot, they'll invert and the head will go up. But on day 3 of doing this, she offered to trot and keep her head down. So I'll let her do whatever she wants. We're not doing Pirelli here, we're doing gymnastics, stretching. Trying to stretch, lengthen her top line and teach her to lift with her abdominal muscles. And that when she feels bit pressure, they're still there, they're just in the shadow. They're just under the tree in the shade, they're all still there, okay? Is to teach her to stretch her top line, drop her head, and lift with that abdominal muscle, which is how you teach them to lift their back when you're not on them, to build that self-carriage muscles. So she's going to trot right now. See the head. Now that's how we don't want her, is that head to come up, and see that underside gets firm and thick and hard, and the top arched part of the neck gets flat. We don't want that. So you can see there's not pressure all the time on that bit, it's loose. And I've actually got it a little looser than I had it yesterday, because I really want her to walk, because I was testing her limits to see if she could trot like that just for the heck of it when she offered it, and she did. And it was just amazing. Good girl. Normally I'm not talking, I'm saying good girl a lot. So when she does this, I'm like, good girl, what a good girl, Ruby. Now if her head goes up, I'm not going to say good girl. So I'm just doing this for as long as I think will not annoy her. Where'd my dog go? If she starts to get bored or irritated, I don't want to push her to that point, because then she'll learn to hate this. But we're down here near her friends because she was worried about me. Whoa! So I don't want you to turn and face me. time I'm going to do it when she's heading, when the horse is on her other side. So there the head came up, now it went back down. That's up too much, where the underside gets thick. Whoa, whoa. That's how you set yourself up for success. Is I put the thing she wants to go to on the side to make her stop and not face me. So I knew she'd want to go to them, so if I stop her there, she doesn't want to turn and face. So that's what I'm trying to teach her, is not turn and face me unless I specifically ask. And you're never going to do that when you're working a horse with a gymnastic kind of thing. So when I undo these, they're just come up real close. So that if something happens, I can just untie them, and I'm going to say, what does it mean when I give pressure? And her, wait till her, I don't do both at the same time. I do one and the other. And she'll turn her head around trying to get cookies. One. Good girl. All the way down. Good girl. Throw these over to keep them out of the way. And ask her again, what does that mean? Good girl. Good girl. So I'm going to very carefully take these strings off. You got to watch because they'll flip her in the eye if I draw them too fast, and that would undo all our put your head down, relax stuff. I'm going to pick them up, tie them on. I'm going to slip knot again, so if something happens, it's got to have enough that when I put it on, there's some slack here. I can put the girth, put it on the girth when I do it up the next time, and just a little daisy chain. So again, it can come off. Then come around to this side and I'll show you how we're going to take the bridle off. So she had her first reaction today. Oh no, I'm down to my last. Oh, good. I got some. I'm all right. Thank you. She had her first reaction putting the bridle on today that she's had since I've been putting it on her. And she had one flashback moment. So when I put it on, I loosen it way up. And when I take it off, I loosen it way up. I put my hand here. There's still one in your mouth from before. That was from before. So she knows, so I'm not going to take this any farther than over her ears. I'm going to take it over her ears, but it's going to stay up in the corner of her mouth exactly the same. Because if you let go, this is with any horse, this is not Ruby, with any horse. So show what I'm doing here with my hand here, what we want to show. When she's fussing, I don't drop the bit. Only time I drop the bit is just like the ears. When the head is all the way on the ground. Then I slowly inch down her head, because what everybody does is they take the bridle off and they come out here, and it hooks behind that front incisor right there, and it catches on their teeth, bangs their teeth, they throw their head in the air and it bangs on their teeth more. So absolutely everybody, you watch people unbridle, they come out here. Don't ever come out here. Hold your bridle here, take it off the ears, and hold it right there. And wait for your horse to mouth and drop her head. Then you slide your fingers down her head. Don't do this. And again, I think I've seen Pirelli trainers do it. I've seen it happen to in every barn I've ever been in. They pull it off, hooks, bangs, throws their head. And there's a surefire cure for that, and that's inch it down. Girl. A little couple ear things. I got enough for a couple ear things.
I got more too.
That's all right. Practice this again. She didn't do very good today. So this has got to be easy. Slamming her head into me is her defense mechanism. Going for the treats and slamming her head into me. She doesn't get rewarded for that. And I don't stop what I'm doing. That's how she gets rewarded. We're going to do this on there. And of course you can't do this in sand. You got to do it on grass or on mat just got to be an average thing to do right here. We're not trying to put it on her, we're just hanging out. This is how we teach this. This is not something that something else is going to happen after this. This is just a thing we do. Doesn't matter if her head's up, it just matters that her head goes down and we end on a down. And that's how you teach that. It's just only do that. Don't get your leg caught in the rope. One step. Come. There we go. So come behind me so you can shoot in my perspective when you're doing it. Whatever spot you get to there. There you go. Head on the ground. Ooh, there was a piece of poop there. You put it near a piece of poop. Go back. Let's see if we can get you to back up and your head's in the right position. Good girl. This is what I couldn't get for 2.5, 3 months. She learned it now that she learned it.